YouTubers, Tubettes. If you don't know, my name is Dave Dixon. I actually live up here in Northern California, near the Sacramento area, and I really love California. I wanted to check in with you guys, especially on this pool sale thing that I had going on, and I also wanted to talk about my 10,000 steps a day. Since I committed to do that all the way until my birthday, I've been really good about doing it. I already got my 10,000 steps in today, so any other steps I have going on are just going to be additional, which I have done additional. I think I have an average of 12,000 a day, so that's a good thing. I started to go back to the gym. I've had a gym membership forever, but I just didn't feel that committed, to going to the gym. So I go every once in a while, but now I've been going for the last 2 or 3 days, and I'm incorporating some weightlifting into it. I used to do a lot of weightlifting when I was younger, and so I know the benefits of it. I'm incorporating it now. As I'm feeling better endurance, I'm also feeling stronger, so I'm getting in and doing some weights as an additional thing, toward my 10,000 steps a day. One thing I've done in the past is sometimes I just go crazy with weights. I mean, I'll go in there for an hour or 2 hour session of lifting weights and just really kind of almost tearing my body apart, because you have to tear down the muscle to build it back up. But this time I'm going in there for more like 30 minutes. Moderately weighted weights, and not trying to overdo myself or beat myself up, because my main thing is aerobics, to lose the weight. So I'll have another check-in on my weight on Saturday, and I'm hoping that it's going to be good. I know muscle weighs more than fat, but I don't want to say if I haven't lost any weight or if my weight went the opposite, I'm gaining all this muscle, because I don't want to fool myself. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was this lead that I had, and when I talked to her initially, everything was really good. She did tell me that she had a brain injury, so I think it affects her memory and sometimes her mood. And when we do construction on a pool, there's a lot of patience that's required, and it's really good to have a sharp memory. I do have a sharp memory. That's one thing I have going for me. But as you may have remembered, my mother had dementia in her older age, and I'm hoping that's not in my future. So I'm doing certain things to keep my brain active and sharp. But anyway, with her, she had a brain injury, and so after I met with her the second time, where I gave her the price and everything, then she made a request of something that I've never done. Actually, in my 40 years, I've never done it. She wanted to get a breakdown of all the cost of what it costs to build this pool. And we just don't give that out. Not only can I not give it out, because the owner, he's already told me he does not want that to go out, but I don't even have a way to get it out, because generally the way pools are priced is you have a base price, and that's where the trick part is the base includes and excludes all kinds of things. So our base price, for instance, doesn't include a permit. And it'd be really easy for a customer to say, well, can you build a pool without a permit? No. Well, then how come you don't have a permit in your base? It's easy to do that. So when you get the numbers, it can be really, it can be confusing. So another thing, and just a little side note, is sometimes if you say, well, what's the permit cost in this town that I'm working in? It could be $2,500. And I've had people call the building department and say, I went and called the building department, it was only $1,000, and you're charging me $2,500. I said, well, you can't go down to the building department and give them $1,000 and say, give me my permit. You know, they want to have a steel engineered, signed 3 copies from the engineer. You have to have the engineering plan, master plan, you know, so you can use that steel schedule in that town or that county. Every town and county has to be master planned. It's crazy. The inefficiencies of government. And then somebody has to draw it. They want it drawn in 1/8 scale. Now I do draw it, but it needs to be drawn in another way. So we do it on AutoCAD, and then we submit it. So there's a person running down, a permit runner that runs down. He has to check on it, a permit runner that runs back. So total cost of that is $2,500. So yeah, the actual cost of the permit might be $1,000, but that's what we have figured in our pricing. So you start putting that on a piece of paper, and you just sit there and you never get past permit because people can be arguing with you or you know, whatever. And it's really easy just to say, okay, well, we'll just put the permit in the base, okay? And then, you know, you raise the price of the base. Now it includes a permit. So sometimes it includes, in our case, it includes concrete, but some other companies it does not include concrete. And so creating a base is really not for the customer's education. It's actually to keep the numbers away from the salesman. So we really don't know exactly what excavation costs are, gunite costs, steel costs, plumbing costs. I mean, I could pretty much figure it out, but because I used to be a builder. But that's what the base represents. And then you build onto the base depending on what you're adding. And there's, you know, on that cost breakdown sheet, there's probably 100 different places, and I think I probably filled out like, let's just say 35 places. So you got to be detailed, and you got to have a whole perception of what you're doing when you're in pool sales. But asking for a cost breakdown, that's not a problem. I mean, because you can ask whatever you want, but you have to understand that we may or may not do it. And in this case, we just weren't going to do it. And I pretty much thought that that it was over, you know, because she asked me for something. I told her we're not going to do it. And I did talk to the owner first, and he said, no, we're not doing that. So, yeah, I can look at it like it's a big waste of time, but I don't look at it that way. I just, until they sign on the dotted line, or actually until they dig the pool, we don't really have the pool, because they can even change their mind before they dig. Things always come up, or they could come up. So then, here it is, like probably a week later, she said, oh, I really like your bid, Dave. I mean, I think she could recognize now because she had gotten bids from other people. But she says, I want to make sure that we're bidding apples and apples. And everyone likes to say that, but a lot of times I don't think that pool customers are able to do it, even if we give you all the information, because it's very complex. There's a lot of different things that we have on there. And we even put some special features on the pool that other companies are not going to put on the pool. So, and we usually always use upgraded equipment. The owner just doesn't want to mess with the cheap stuff, so the equipment is the heart of the whole system, so we put upgraded equipment on all of our jobs. So she made it sound like we were back in the running, even though I didn't give her a cost breakdown. And then last night she called me about 8:45 at night. I let the phone answer it, and then I called her back this morning. And so we talked about she had some other questions and wanted to get some other costs on moving a sewer line and installing an extra box, another power box, a sub-panel box we call it. Well, the sub-panel box is already included for us, but I think what she's talking about is her panel needed to be upgraded because it's full. It was a 100 amp panel, so it's completely full. There's a couple of options that we have to do that, but I don't want to necessarily describe exactly how we do it, to the customer. So I said, no, we can come out there, it's not a problem. And then again, she asked me for this cost breakdown. I think she had felt that she forgot it, that we were not going to give her one like that, all broken down with numbers. And I've even had it where some people have asked all of our workers. They want to know all of our workers and subcontractors. Yeah, we're not giving that out either, because if we don't get the pool, all that material goes directly to the competition. And as much as people don't think that that there is a lot of competition, it's very competitive, selling pools. And a lot of stuff is proprietary information. We don't want it getting out, to be used against us, from the competition. So we were texting back and forth, and I already set up an appointment for her on Thursday at 10. But then she started saying that she has to have this cost breakdown because she needs to review it because she has this brain injury thing, and her legal team needs to review it. Now these are all like red flags. They're just red flag, red flag, red flag. And so finally, when she said legal team, we're not even in contract. I just gave her a proposal. But I can see where it's going. I've been doing it for so long. So I called the owner and I told him what was what, and he agreed with me. Yeah, we're not going to do this, Dave. So I said, well, in case she calls, and wants another salesman, or sometimes they do that to be tricky. They go behind around me, or maybe she might call and complain. I just want everybody to know what's what on this. So I wrote her a text. I thought it was pretty good, but my wife was there. I had taken her to the office this morning. So she's a paralegal. So I said, could you look at this text just to make sure, because I don't want to have any hard feelings or anything. So she looked at it, she said, well, I wouldn't write it that way, and I would write this like this way. So she really changed it around, and I have to admit, it did sound a lot better. So I went ahead and sent it to her, and then she said, thank you, Dave. Thank you very much, even though we're not going to do a pool for her. She has other bids, so she'll be fine, but I have a feeling whoever she deals with, it's going to be problematic because of the memory issue is one thing, and then also just the demands. We're not even close to doing a contract, and there's already a lot of demands coming out that we're not normally doing. So I wanted to let you guys know, because my pool builder channel, my pool design channel, is not for marketing, and it's not for sending customers there to look at the reviews or things like that. It's just for me. It's for me and for you. For people that are interested in hearing how California pool designer's life is, that's why I'm doing it. And I want to run it for 3 years while I'm still working and drawing plans and everything else. So you'll get a pretty good sense of what I'm up against, and I'm going to just be honest with you as clearly as I can, so that you'll get an idea of what's involved with what I do. So thank you very much for listening. I'm really glad you found me. If you'd like, you can subscribe so we can stick together, and then I will get better, and I'll try to do better videos and better editing on my videos. Thank you very much, and have a great day.